Brandon, would you like to open?
Yeah, hello. Welcome to what 2GT Live? Is that what we're calling it this week?
It is. This week is 2GT Live. This week, next week, who knows?
Well, Rich,
Yes,
how's your week been?
I was good. Last week I went on a little bit of vacation. I enjoyed that, so that's why we didn't have a show. And can't complain. Got a good video out last week. And how about you?
Oh, pretty good. Hanging out, doing the normal stuff. Going to work now, which is a new experience for me.
Still not going to work. I don't want to go to work. I think I'm professionally gonna do my best to work from home until I die.
I think a lot of people feel the same. That's best work's done at home. But speaking of work, you put out a video.
I did.
How's the Switch hanging out? How's it working?
So it's been great. No, we kind of talked about it, but Kiwi McCakes is online. Al, it's good to have you. It's been really good. It's a network switch, right?
Yeah.
So let's just be clear. It's just a 10 gig switch. But I like having it in Unify and in the console and being able to see my metrics and all that kind of fun stuff. I'm totally down to have that sort of control. But it's cheap. It's not as cheap as the MikroTik, I guess. But
yeah, but I'd argue you get that integration feature. But I mean, hey, if I get the MikroTik, I don't have to have that giant UDM ad in front of me.
No, they got rid of that.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But do you remember when that was like a solid thing
Dude.
you could not remove for a while? Because
Did you know we make the UDM Pro? You have to buy it.
Well, imagine if Microsoft did that, and they were like, "Have you seen the Surface Studio? It's just in your face, and it's now your background forever."
Yeah. I don't. They removed it. Like I saw that when you sent me the link to the article where they were talking about the next version of the Unify controller not having that, and I was just like, oh look, minor patches. Oh, removed banner.
Yeah. Boring bug fixes, added features. No. But banner gone.
That made me so upset. Like I was like tweeting. And I was tweeting at them. I'm like, this is Derber! And then I was on YouTube like, this is Derber! And they listened to me.
Yeah.
Only me. Only me.
Only you.
Only me.
Not the collective of people who hit the forums and told them that they were
raged
wrong.
out. Well, and I ended up actually moving out of the modern view and back to the old view.
It's
There's
not
nothing
the same.
there.
I really wonder why companies insist on doing UI revisions without putting in all the features. Because NetApp does the same thing on their newest stuff, and it drives me nuts because I just have to go in and I go, nope, I'm gonna switch back to the old one because the old one works.
And they pop up the message like at least the Ubiquity does.
Same
It says,
thing.
You might lose out on some wicked cool features.
Yeah.
There are no wicked cool features, guys. You're just making. I imagine that they have a grand scheme, right? They have this big idea of what it's going to look like, and it's going to have nothing to do with running your own controller on premise unless you buy a UDM Pro. That's the way it's going to be, right?
Yeah, I feel that.
Or a cloud key.
And I think a lot of companies have this idea that they can be Apple. And they're gonna put in the resources to make everything look modern, and it's gonna look good, and it's gonna be functional just out of the box without doing any of the legwork Apple does to, they do hundreds of test groups to figure out what is actually intuitive.
Yeah, I would agree. Although I hope that Ubiquity doesn't care about being Apple. I want them to be Meraki. I want them to take Meraki's lunch. That's what I want. Because Meraki does have a really nice UI, and I mean their whole SaaS platform is great. It's stupid that you have to pay a fee for it, and that the hardware goes bad after that license is not renewed.
Yeah, the hardware locking.
That is so. I mean, well, I've got a couple of the Ubiquity, the Meraki APs, and you can flash them with OpenWord, and then they just become OpenWord things. But you don't get any of the cool stuff that is actually of value.
Yeah.
You get a great functioning access point because it's fine hardware. The hardware is the hardware, right? But I really think that it would be great if Ubiquity could pull in, if they had an open source or installable firmware you could put on say some Meraki access points that had gone off lease and they're on eBay for $25 a piece and they've got tri-band radios and
I think there is a push, and there's definitely a thought that there needs to be an open source version of what Ubiquity is doing. Will that ever happen? We'll have to see.
They could just release it and just say this will turn your access point into something you can add to. But then they're making money off their hardware because
Yeah.
the software is that they would never do that because that would hurt their bottom line. But,
Yeah.
But back to the Switch. The Switch is great,
Mhm.
and it's miles better than having to deal with Winbox because Winbox is trash.
You're not wrong. I
Winbox
can't disagree with that.
Winbox is the UI and the management software for Microtik equipment, and it's just it's terrible. It's just terrible.
It's all about that 2-inch little screen that you're definitely going to use on your enterprise Switch. It's all about that.
Well, I like the little swipey swipe.
Yeah,
things.
it's so helpful.
Swipe it does.
You playing Tinder on your Switch, like
swipe up or swipe left, right, swipe up and down, whatever. You can shut it off and restart that.
No. Does it run Doom though? Do we try it
I bet we could.
Okay.
Wait for the Linus video that's coming out. I'll be running Doom on his Ubiquitous. Anyway, but it's been good. And
Okay.
Yeah. So you got some topics?
Yeah, so
We got some topics.
some
There's
things
news,
happened.
Some stuff has happened.
We've been out for 2 weeks, so we'll back you. You want to start out with iOS?
I want you to start with iOS.
You want to start with iOS? Okay.
Hit me with the iOS.
iOS 15 came out, and
Is it really? I haven't
oh
downloaded
no,
it.
sorry, not out.
I was gonna say because
it came out in the announcement. It will come out in September, obviously,
Yeah.
with the iPhone 13, maybe 14. I'm not
Plus,
sure
plus?
how. Plus S. I don't know how
Okay.
many we're gonna add to it.
Yeah.
It'll come out then. So WWDC happened, and as I'm sure everyone has seen all the stuff about what is going to happen with the next version. A lot of privacy add-ons.
Mhm.
A lot of stuff to make you feel more in control of your data and to kind of iron things out, in the normal Apple fashion. But some of the big key points I found was that FaceTime now has SharePlay, which I think is going to be one of the coolest features out there. What is it?
What is SharePlay?
That's a great question. So
We don't know.
so SharePlay is you and I can be on a FaceTime chat, and we can be watching the same video. And if you pause the video, it pauses it for me.
Yeah, but I have that now with Plex. Like we
You
can
do?
watch
Oh.
Plex and we can share a thing and
I get it, but think of the people who are using FaceTime. You're not your people who are using Plex. Those that Venn diagram doesn't always overlap.
This is SharePlay in and so that it's connected to
Yeah.
watching on probably an Apple TV.
Yeah.
And you
Apple
bought it with your Apple
TV,
service.
Yeah, Apple
So-
Watch if you're watching stuff on there.
Watching on my Apple Watch.
But it's a really cool
Such-
idea, especially that I think that is one of the things that the pandemic definitely drove. It also you can join it from a web browser now, which finally I have a few family members and friends that don't have Apple devices. If I want to send them, I can send them a web link, and through a web app on Android, they can join a FaceTime call.
Oh, that's awesome. I don't know why they just don't release a FaceTime for Android and stop being.
Because
Jerk faces
then they'd
about it,
have
but-
to develop on something else that
But
wasn't.
they released Apple Music for Android specifically
Did
because
they?
they did.
Oh, I know about that.
If you want, you can buy the Apple Music service and you can listen to it on Android because we don't want to lose out on that, right?
Yeah.
There's some money there. Give me that money.
I think they probably just decided that the development of a FaceTime app, which is a free service, wasn't going to have the same revenue income as Apple Music will.
Sure. Okay. Then I have an answer for that, and that is don't make FaceTime something you can use universally, but make it so that people with Apple devices can call you.
Yeah.
And then you could. Actually, that's a dumb idea. Apple. These corporations just drive me nuts when it comes down to this is our elite portfolio of products, and we can't. I don't look.
Well,
3/4 of the world's using Android because it's affordable. Yeah, we don't even talk to those people. They're not.
Well, I think we don't have any protocol for it, because even now, there's tons of chat apps now. You want Zoom, you want Teams, you want whatever.
Sure.
They have to have the compatible app. There's no standard, handshake for what's going to happen, essentially, right? But in addition to adding Android on to FaceTime, they also
keep
something
talking
happened.
while keep talking while
Okay.
I fix iBus. Woo!
Oh, okay.
The magic of technology, folks. All right, continue.
But,
My apologies.
in one of the additions was spatial audio. So now if you're on with your friends, it'll sound like your friends are around you. Why? I don't know.
I heard about that feature and I was like, okay, maybe in the spatial audio in the context of you're watching a movie and you can get a better feeling of being in a different area based on the way.
Yeah.
But I don't know why people need to. All I ever wanted in watching movies was to feel like I'm in the center of the movie wherever it's at.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on the periphery and hear like, oh, the footsteps on the left because there's people over there. Like, no, I just make me feel like I'm in the movie.
Fair. But I also think it's one of those things that you would use and then you would feel like, oh, this is so much different. Kind of like if you have a 240 hertz monitor, while the human eye really doesn't see the difference between 144 and a 240, you feel definitely a difference when you go back. And I think it's one of those things where, like, because one of the things that Dolby Atmos, which is their version of spatial sound, is like you can hear a plane fly over and it sounds like the plane's moving from one side to another. Kind of seems like a cool feature that you wouldn't think you need it, but then it becomes a big thing.
As long as you own an Apple TV and you
got to have those AirPod Maxes that have the foldable band mesh thingy on top. It's important to be in the ecosystem.
All of these things can only happen if you have an Apple logo on every part, right?
And then another thing they added outside of this is Focus. Focus is Android profiles. You can now set so between the hours of 8 and 4, only your work notifications come to the top.
I like that. I like that.
All sorts of fitness stuff too to make sure you're not being interrupted and spread out pertinent to your life. They redid Apple Maps again. Maybe some people will switch. No. There must be dozens of them who use it.
Dozens! I tell you what, because of CarPlay and the fact that I can use Google Maps through my Apple CarPlay in my car, I don't use Apple Maps.
You don't use Maps at all?
I get caught where if somebody sends me a link or a message and it's an address, I can't prevent Apple from not opening an Apple Maps, right? You can't say, my default map is Google. They're like, no, we spent a lot of money on Apple Maps. You're going to use it. So I have to copy pasta it out. But it's the fact that they at least allow a different mapping program to show up on CarPlay. That's a big deal, right?
Well, and that's just, adding development support, right? Like, same thing.
Is it that? Because,
because, like, Spotify would be there, and if Apple was truly locking it down, they'd be like, no, you use Apple Music.
This is different. Like, in my car, on the display screen, there's actually a big window that's where Maps shows up. And if I open Google Maps and I go back to it, Google Maps shows up right there.
Yeah.
And it stays there.
It's developer side.
I still have all that other stuff. So Apple at least made it possible for them to take that role.
Yeah, I mean...
Kiwi McCake says we should all go back to MapQuest. Printed paper MapQuest, actually.
Good old days of 2008 where you printed out a map and then followed it around.
Can you believe we did that? Like, that seems so barbaric.
Yeah?
I don't know, like, the thought of, like, being in the car and being like, and then, like... The risk and the danger of reading a piece of paper
you're holding it, like,
and trying to oh god, there goes my road. That's not cool. Yeah, that's real smart.
No, and I feel you on the default apps thing. Apple was like, you get a browser. We can only change your default browser. Everything else has to be Apple.
I thought that was huge.
Yeah, I mean, but Apple has created this environment where, like, they give you one little bit of freedom and you're like, oh, thank you, Overlord. Thank you. Like, that type of mentality in their ecosystem. So
I know you're an iOS user, so I don't know why you crap on it so. But I will say that, Android is still not superior.
It's true.
But yeah, they're definitely the freedom. So what else? What else?
But then the last thing I talked about, which is big, is a big addition to HomeKit and Wallet. Wallet being the big one, is that you can now set an NFC card on your phone and tap it to locks to get in and out of your house and in and out of your car.
Right.
And as someone who has a BMW, and BMW is usually one of
what makes
forefront of Apple stuff.
Makes me frustrated is that I have this thing that came with my car.
And you just tap it and...
Yeah, and that's my driver's license. It's right here. It's a credit card.
Okay.
It says BMW on
it. Nice black BMW card.
It says BMW digital key. And it's an NFC credit card, right?
Yeah.
It's and I have to put it on the driver's side door handle for it to unlock the car.
Okay.
Super weak NFC. Like, if it's in my wallet or anywhere not near it, it's not like the fob in my car that will open up. They promised that this would be in Apple on the iPhones, that I could just put my phone in the tray and it'd work.
Yeah.
They lied.
Maybe this is the next evolution. Maybe
it is the next evolution, which makes me mad because the car's a 2020.
Well, yeah, but maybe BMW marketing said something that BMW engineering didn't quite know about.
The Germans don't do that, Brandon.
I don't know. I haven't been to BMW, so
the Germans plan and then they execute, and that's all they do. All right.
Fair enough. But that's my top hits. Are you excited as our resident Apple fanboy?
Well, I did buy an iPad Pro
with the M1
with
in
the
it.
M1.
Oh yeah,
Can I show it to you again?
You got a Ferrari engine inside a Ford Pinto?
I did, because I believe someday there's going to be a release of iOS that is just Mac OS on it.
Oh yeah,
because it's basically that it's functionally the same as the iMac.
Yeah.
Right. It is just it's just a touchscreen.
Mm-hmm.
It's too big, by the way. 12.9 inches is.
I mean, it's a laptop. That's
a
full laptop,
it
right?
is a full laptop, and it supports a mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
I plugged it in my dock,
and it just
and all of a sudden I had a mouse. I mean, it's a little round
ball,
it's a round circle. I was just like, what's going on here? This is not a tablet. Anyway, so it's nice.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah,
but
I just wanted the LiDAR scanner. That's what I wanted. They don't put LiDAR scanner in the smaller version. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go, because Apple's still in this kind of gray area of like, do we want it to be a computer? They've never changed their OS to be touch oriented.
Yeah.
But those were my top hits for iOS 15. There's a ton of other stuff that you should definitely go check out on Apple website if you're into that.
Yes, for sure.
But
what are you talking about? This camera right here, Katie's review, that one, or are you talking about another one? Let us know. We'll tell you. Yes, he says yes. He, she. I'm sorry, I did not mean to assume your gender. That is just the Lumix GH5S 4K camera, but we're only transmitting in 1080p because sending 4K to YouTube is bananas in a live stream. But yeah, we're just focused and focused.
Good manual focus. Don't trust the autofocus.
Yeah, it's manual focus, and it's got good. The camera's got good glass. That's one of the nice things about that lens. But thank you for joining us. And Taylor Smith said, "I miss MapQuest.
I think there's a little bit of.
I don't miss MapQuest. Come on, that's crazy talk. That's like.
Do you remember Here Maps?
No.
One of the big thing about Here Maps when Nokia ran it was that it was the first maps you could go into a mall and get the whole layout of the mall on your phone, and that was like the big thing.
I've never heard of Here Maps.
Really?
Is it still here?
Oh, Microsoft took it out back and decided it didn't need to exist
bullet
anymore.
So it's no longer Here Maps. Hey!
So yeah.
All right. Well, let's.
But what do you got?
I mean, you have other things to talk about. But we'll bounce back and forth. I have some funny, interesting things. So nothing too super serious this week. Facebook is trialing VR ads for Oculus owners.
Okay, was anyone surprised though?
Dude, I had this epiphany that it'd be like.
Oh, you have one, don't you?
I have one.
Oh.
I mean, I don't use it. My wife and the kids use it. I don't even use it because I get old man sick after 5 minutes and start in a cold, clammy sweat, and I want to curl up in a ball and start crying. But I just had this wild realization that you're going to be playing video games and there's going to be like pop-up ads in your face and you can't swat them away.
Yeah. You're going to be doing Beat Saber and then all of a sudden like ads going to pop up in the corner and I'm not sure you're going to want that.
Yeah, really. So I have some details back because I thought it was interesting. So they're testing ads. It's a limited test. It always starts as a limited test. And it's a partnership with several game developers. So I'm assuming it's not going to be like your local groups that you're part of, like your county groups or people who are selling like used lawn implements and things like that.
Wouldn't that be great though? Do like a virtual garage sale as you like walk around.
That would actually, you know what? Actually, I think that's kind of a cool idea because that would be something that actually be useful.
Yeah.
I just don't want an ad that pops up that says that my aunt says that this is what you're doing is neat. I don't want to see that. When we play video games, I want to play like the Star Trek game. I don't want to have stuff showing up that's not related to Star Trek.
You don't want to like click on an umbrella on Amazon one time and now you have umbrella ads for the next 3 weeks.
God, man. But, I will say that there's a bit of irony to this, and that is the whole promise of VR is that it's supposed to be like immersive. That's the key word, is immersive. You know what's not immersive? Getting advertisements in video games to remind you that you are not actually doing what you think you're doing with your immersion. You're being sold a potential thing.
True.
So anyway, it's a small scale test between basically to try to get Facebook's money engineering that, because Facebook believes that after mobile, VR is the next big financial like money making frontier. I think VR is functionally dead. I'm sorry, I do. I think VR is functionally dead.
Really?
Yes, because there's nothing great happening on it, guys. I'm on my second VR headset, mostly because my wife broke the first one. To be clear, and so I have a Rift S, right?
Okay.
They don't even sell wired headsets anymore. They only sell the wireless ones, and there's like a USB-C cable if you want to plug in your computer. Like, I'm just saying, they're going away from the high immersion, high performance.
Well, I think
graphics.
The tier you're looking at is because, like, if you want a Valve Index, that's a flashy grand.
We all need a Valve Index that is only $250.
Yeah,
that's what we need. And you can say that the computer is the expensive thing.
Yeah, I mean, we're still not there yet. That's the thing is, like, stuff like the Vive and the stuff that does the whole, like, light box camera thing is where all, like, the development is at right now, the part that you want to be at, right? Because, like, that's kind of the issue, because I have a Windows Mixed Reality one, and it's an old one, and it works pretty well, but...
Does it actually look good?
I mean, no, it's not like Oculus look good. Like, VR's never looked good in my idea.
No,
I mean, you're strapping a TV to your face, like...
Yeah, with the Fresnel lenses, and whenever there's light, you see these halos, and it's,
Yeah, but, like, the big thing is that
See, Kitty Review's on my side. VR's dead.
VR's dead? Okay.
VR's dead. I want a tombstone.
I don't know.
Tombstone says VR's dead. I'm sorry.
I just think we're working on getting the headsets to be light enough and the screen rate to be fast enough.
Then you need something like where they're shooting laser beams into your eyes or something so that there's no displays. Just two little laser beams shooting lights into your eyes.
Elon's working on the Neuralink.
Yeah, great. That'll be good.
Hey,
Brandon, you know the last person I want in my brain is
Yeah.
Elon Musk. It's the last person. Anyone who's like, this guy's great. He should be running this company where they put microchips into your brain. I'm not sure why the crazies haven't come out of the woodwork and be like, they're putting microchips in my brain. Like, he's literally trying to...
They got tons of other issues right now. But
they're worried about COVID giving them microchips, and Elon Musk is literally putting microchips in people's heads.
Fair enough. But no, it'll be just like Futurama. Do you remember when Fry has the dream and he dreams that he wants, super pants underbriefs because it's an ad in his dream? Yeah. That's where we're going to.
Well, yeah, I mean, if they have to find a way to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so I hope that this doesn't land. I think that VR needs to find another way to make its money. That's and fair. Don't do this. Like, this is terrifying to me, that it's just going to make a dead thing even worse.
That's fair. At the end of the day, yeah, you can't really... Ads will not help it.
No. When have ads ever helped anything?
YouTube.
Well, sure. No, that doesn't help. That doesn't help the viewership.
Do you remember when there was a proof of concept and a trial for 2 ads at the beginning of a video? And now what is it? Every video is 2 ads.
2 ads. Possibly ads in the middle if it's at least 8 minutes long, and then there's 2 ads.
So,
at the
like,
end.
This can be a trial, but it's in production. They've already.
Well, of course. I mean,
sold.
You're right. They have to build the platform.
Yeah,
if the platform's built, it's literally just a button press. Like, oops, I spilled my coffee, and now we're in production. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. But I think that there just needs to be another way. Also, side note: next week is Prime Day, 21 and 22.
Amazon's garage sale.
It is. There's no question about it.
Do you remember first Prime Day that had like a 44-gallon like oil barrel drum of lube? And it was like the meme gif you could buy, and it was only like $50. And I was like, why is this sold?
That's $1 a gallon. That is a steal.
Like, why is this out there? It's kind of like, when you see the Amazon daily deals. Does anyone buy anything?
I don't know. I don't even look at that crap, honestly.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, as an Amazon affiliate, full disclosure, we're an Amazon affiliate, they send us emails about like, hey, make sure to pump up your audience about Amazon Prime Day. It's coming. We're like, that's not my thing.
To be fair, we're doing it right now. So did we get caught?
Every one of us, and I'm lumping you into this as well. I know that you want to secretly find something awesome that's affordable on Amazon Prime Day because we're all gonna look.
Yeah.
It's like Cyber. What is it? Cyber Monday.
Yeah.
Everybody goes and gets online, even though it's the same stuff that they were selling on Cyber.
I mean,
Sunday.
Most of the time I'm on for Cyber Monday, I get the Amazon dogs, which tell me another page is load. So.
Yeah, for sure. But I just in case you're interested,
Yeah, that's fair.
Right, go. What do you got?
But, well, so we're talking about the Mac OS, and you brought up your iPad, and one of the issues that I have with Mac OS's transition to the iPad is it's not very touch-friendly.
This is...
No. Mac OS in its current state, in
No,
my opinion, is not meant for
I just
a
don't know
touchscreen.
I don't know why.
And it's just something that Apple hasn't put development. But who has put a lot of development behind it is Microsoft. And we got a secret release, kind of it.
We're not getting away without talking about this.
We got an announcement of an 11-minute video that was, what was it? Slow-fi. It was like lo-fi beats that were made of the Windows like start sound, essentially, that were chilled out for 11 minutes, and then an announcement which I believe happens in 6 days, and the announcement, at least according to all the leaks, is Windows 11.
Yeah. 11 minutes of lo-fi.
11, yeah.
The marketing people at Microsoft are genius. Give me a break.
But this shouldn't exist.
It should not exist.
They told me that Windows 10 was it.
I remember hearing that. Yeah. Was it Sajid Nadella was like, this is the last version of Windows. I think is what he said. And I was like, really? That's amazing. Except they released every 6 months they release versions. So, but now apparently not.
Yeah, who knows? But on June 24th, they'll have the announcement. Some of the source code leaked, and so you can go to sketchy websites and download an ISO and drop it into a VM. And
How? Again, I'm going to call BS on the leaking of it. Like this, I mean, if it was actually legit source code, this is another part of the marketing. Like, and we're going to go ahead and quietly release it over here, and it's gonna really build up a lot of.
It's possible.
I want to see these marketing guys.
It's like
I bet you they're just like, oh god, that's such a good idea.
I mean, it's kind of like Google and Samsung leaks. Like we know all about the phone before it even launches, essentially.
Yeah.
But
same thing with Apple now that Steve Jobs is dead, right?
Yeah.
Before that, if something got out that's before a thing, Steve Jobs would personally hunt you down and murder you and your family and your bloodline to prevent it from ever happening again. It's like Loki, where they're ending the time sequence, right? That's what's happening. Sorry, that was a little bit of spoiler there.
No.
But then Tim Cook comes on. It's like, oh, we got leaks. We don't care about that.
Yeah.
We still care about our presentation.
Yeah, if it doesn't hurt profits, don't worry about it, right?
It doesn't hurt profits.
But some interesting stuff. So some x64 emulation on ARM. That's kind of your biggest underlying.
You mean
thing.
x86?
No, x64. It's 64-bit emulation.
But it's emulating an x86 processor.
Probably. But
what I was reading Intel architecture.
Okay. Yeah, but either way, we're emulating Intel AMD architecture onto ARM.
Does anybody at Intel see what is coming? Intel.
They do. They bought Sci-Fi.
Sci-Fi the channel?
Sci-Fi the... No.
Sci-Fi the television channel?
Me, that's pronounced Sci-Fi now.
I'm sorry. I don't keep track of this.
No, but they bought Sci-Fi, which makes the Hi-Fi ARM chip. At least they were in talks for it. I think $2 billion or something along those lines.
Scorpion PC says x86. Yeah, I mean, because that's the architecture.
Okay.
Whether it's 32 or 64-bit.
My bad. Then I was reading
but nonetheless,
source,
I mean, that if it's good, if it actually does a good job, then we're looking at a competitor to Apple.
And it's interesting though because Microsoft did this already.
Yeah, but they didn't have x86.
No,
there was no emulation for actual, and that was I think that was the death knell of those Windows 8 tablets, right?
Yeah, the Windows S, and then there was Windows X, which was trying to move it to ARM. Kind of some stuff. I think Microsoft had the realization that they can't just stuff a Qualcomm ARM chip in there and then kind of get Windows to boot, and it's not like Doom where you can just run it on anything.
Source code from 1997.
So. That's kind of the thing. It also kind of hints that they're going to do an SoC thing. Kind of the hot thing to do in tech right now is to build an SoC.
SoC is so hot.
So, but right if you look at it, it kind of looks like Mac OS. It's got some rounded corners.
I'm okay
the
with that.
taskbars in the center.
I'm not sure about what that's about.
I mean, it's to mimic the dock effect in
Do you think
Mac.
so? Or do you think there's going to be an option when you right-click and go to properties that you can say, move to the left?
There is. They've customized
because I saw the pictures,
all that.
And the pictures also show the traditional crap, the clock and the stuff in the I can't remember, task tray or whatever is over there. So I don't think it's that sounds like window dressing.
I think so, and I think they did that because. Do you remember Windows 8?
I remember
how much you hated every minute of Windows 8 because
yeah.
it was a touch interface before touch screens were really a thing.
Yeah.
So they kind of learned. Yeah, and that basically that's all they did, and they kind of just they said, hey, we're gonna try to reskin Windows 10, make it modern, make it look more Apple-ish. But if you want to go back, we're cool. Like we'll just you can put your start bar back. You can put your clock back in the corner. You don't have to get upset.
Please don't get upset.
Please
Look,
don't
I don't want you guys to go back to this whole Windows 8
because we're gonna have 11.1, which is just gonna be a start menu again.
And there'll be live tiles, and they're gonna flip around a little.
And I mean, there are some things that they're kind of killing off, which is like the live tile concept, which I think is if you've updated the latest version of Windows, you have a nice little weather icon now that seems to be filling the purpose of live tiles.
I don't even know if I really leveraged live tiles all that much, frankly. They were there, but I don't.
I hate to say I only leveraged it for weather.
Oh, MW, thank you so much, big guy. And I think the ding. No, it didn't ding. Did it ding?
We need to reset.
We need to fix this. Brandon needs to fix.
Yeah,
all of
I do.
He will. He will fix it. Thank you so much. But I wonder if they're going to sell an upgrade, or if it's going to be. I don't know. There one of the articles saying that if you had Windows 7, it was going to be a free upgrade. I was like, what?
Because Microsoft has sold this idea that 7, 8, 10, we don't talk about 9, will all apps should work. If it works on 7, it should work in compatibility mode on 10. And the question is, will 11 break that trend? And the question is, will they charge you for it? Because it's Microsoft and licensing money.
Yeah, I Scorpion BC. I think that I'll bet you. Say right now, I will bet you $1 that does get charged.
You think so? You think it's another $99 or whatever? They are doing software as a service, right? It's a SaaS platform.
At a certain point, you have to recoup your money.
Mm-hmm.
Got to do it. And so, so much chatting in here. I got to read it. Got Windows 11 running on real hardware. So look, we've already...
Yeah. So there are people who can do it. I just know it works. It works best natively in a VM currently. But sure. If it's supposed to be compatible with Windows 10, it should.
Now
work the same, right?
The version that's out right now doesn't have any of the because it's running on x86 hardware, so there wouldn't be an emulator in it.
No, yeah, there wouldn't have any of that stuff yet. Yeah. But that's the real thought is that 11 will come out. We'll see what pricing is. No one really has any idea on or is this where Windows goes free and then fully embraces their Linux? Because if you've been paying attention, Linux, kind of.
What is in your bottle of water? I'm pretty sure Microsoft only loves money.
That's true. But they did buy GitHub, and they bought into the Linux kernel.
They did, and a bunch of Azure's running on Linux. They've got their own version of Linux.
Yeah, and they kind of realized how well Linux runs in Azure, and they were like, man, I need to keep making money to do this. So they've slowly started integrating, Windows. You got the Ubuntu. It's not a container, but it's kind of that little OS you can set up essentially. But they're slowly integrating now. Do I think Microsoft would do that? No, especially not since they're they hold what 86% of the corporate market.
Yeah, that's not going to change, right? They're making the money off that. They're still selling laptops, and each laptop's going to have a paid-for license of Windows 10. And the last PC we built, the one I built for myself, I bought a license of Windows 10. Yeah, kind of had to. I couldn't migrate the one off my old box because it might have been a free upgrade from Windows 7, but
yeah, who knows?
But
yeah, that kind of wraps that up, and we'll have to see what happens on the 24th.
I'm interested. You guys are obviously very interested in this. What do you think? Do you think that I wonder, and this is the question I've got for you guys out there. The big impetus to move to Windows 10 was when NVMe drives by default wouldn't be supported by Windows 7, right? Microsoft said officially, we are not going to support NVMe storage in Windows 7. If you want to use your super fast NVMe, you got to upgrade to that sweet, sweet Windows 10. Unless they find something to really force people into it, it's going to be a long, slow slog to Windows 11. Because Windows 10 is mature right now. It's pretty fantastic, I think. In my opinion, it's upset.
And if it's just a mostly bug-free reskin, you won't see too much change.
Windows 10 is pretty bug-free now. Although I did get hit by that last. I'm in the fast run, and I shouldn't have been, and it just destroyed my PC. No sound. What are you gonna do? Reinstall. All right, cool. Whatever. But yeah, I'm interested. I remember Windows 8, and I remember having that massive revulsion, being like, I can't do this. I need a start menu, and then there was you could download and install a start menu, right? And Windows, like I logged onto an old Windows 2012 server a couple days ago, and that someone had installed the Windows shell tool, and I was like, I don't even want this. I just don't want Windows 8. I don't want 2012 R2 or 2012.
Yeah,
get rid of it.
I have a couple 2012s at work, and God, I just can't stand to work on them. But yeah, I think that, and I don't know who at Microsoft was like, yes, you see this touchscreen UI we just made for Windows 8. Let's put it on a server.
Yeah,
but hey, we'll have to see, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting. I like customization. I like that. So give me a place to stuff my icons. I'll try it out. But yeah, should I move on?
Yeah, I think so. Some big video game news.
Big video game news.
Or joke video game news.
So I decided to go this show to be more lighthearted. Brandon brought actually valid topics. I want you to guys know that if you're in India, very soon you'll be able to play PUBG Mobile again. Why is that? With the blood turned green, so you're shooting aliens, I guess.
Yeah.
So there's actually a deeper backstory to this. So the Indian government said no PUBG in India, no PUBG Mobile, because they were concerned that Tencent, the Chinese company that was basically, their major investor in PUBG Mobile, was siphoning Indian
Tencent
residents.
Was being Tencent.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I made this data, so delicious. I gotta say, J-Time, Windows 2000 was my favorite OS too.
It's all about ME.
You can get out of here. This show is over, folks. Yeah, exactly. Millennium, anybody? 2000 was the best. It's also when they introduced remote desktop, which is what made it the best. But whatever, moving on. Back to this. So Indian government says no PUBG Mobile because Tencent's sucking away user information, which they probably were because,
Why not?
Exactly. So that's a massive market, right? You don't want to lose that. So they decided now they're going to rehost all those servers in India. They're going to turn, because there's also the concern about violence, because nothing says violent like playing a video game on your phone. And shooting people with the tiny screens, it's cute. It's just neat, right? Like, oh, look, I killed this guy. PUBG Mobile is not that great, by the way. It's super easy to play.
It was part of that genre of it was on the Fortnite hype, right? Like it's free to play, point and shoot, get rid of the people and be the last one, right?
Mostly bots, sometimes a person. You don't know. It doesn't matter. So now to satiate their concern about violence, they've now changed the blood to the color green. So when you shoot somebody, they squirt green blood.
Okay. And
the most important thing is their data's not getting siphoned off to China, but
that they know.
I'm just so thankful
India,
China. Well, no, they're actually rehosting in Microsoft Azure, in Continent.
Okay.
So it's staying there, but I'm just so thankful that the answer to violence is just to change the color of the blood to green. Like, guys, if I'd have known this as an American, all our movies would have had like green blood instead of red blood.
Weren't you telling me that the Chinese version is different, where like the person just kindly falls over, gets back up, and then hands you like a small gift of their stuff?
I don't think it's PUBG Mobile. I think it's actually the PUBG version that's allowed in China, again because of violence. Is they die and they get back up and they hand you a gift as a thank you for killing them. And it's called like friendship something or other, some
goofy name.
Like, I want to play that version
just to see,
because I would have far less rage.
Yeah.
If when I killed somebody, they're like, huh, and I'd be like, yeah, thank you. I'll take your backpack and all the stuff you had, which was essentially nothing. I haven't played that game in a long time. I don't know. You guys still playing PUBG? Is anybody even playing PUBG?
I got off that type of game in general. I just fell out of interest for me.
I've been playing zombies. That's it. Because that way, a 12-year-old on an Xbox can hand me my ass and then be like, I got you.
You can just yell at your friends because they won't revive you.
Right. Revive me. Revive me. No, you ran in again. So, yeah, I don't know. But that's good news for our Indian viewers. You can play PUBG Mobile again. Greenblood. What do you got? Anything?
Yeah, one last thing. Unless I thought you got one more. Or is that it?
No, that's it.
All right. The last thing is E3 happened and there were a ton of good announcements and there's already a ton of content on that, so I wouldn't cover it. But I did need to cover this one thing in hardware.
Go
and
on.
It's the Xbox. What is it? Xbox One fridge.
The Xbox
One S. What are we on? I can't remember. Are
You
we
want
on X or
we're on
what?
the X.
On the X.
The X
now.
is the
Okay.
black monolith. The S is the white
Okay.
one. Which one is
the
it?
X?
The X. Okay.
It now has a fridge with Xbox velocity cooling architecture.
Wait, Scorpion PC says he played it 3 years ago in the Blood Was Green. Maybe that was something.
Is that a change they just implemented?
No, I mean that's 3 years ago. So it might have been something. This might be their answer to a lot of stuff. The KFC gaming system. That's got the little tray, right, where they put the chunk of chicken in. Nothing says a terrible idea like computer hardware next to a greasy chicken wing.
It's got a grease trap. It's fine.
Grease trap.
Yeah, don't worry about
Grease traps never catch fire. Never. There's never been any damage because of that.
But you look at this and it holds maybe 10 sodas, but it was a joke from last time and they finally brought it to life. And I think maybe on the 24th when they're having their announcement, they're gonna release it to buy. Kind of like the.
And it's just a beer fridge.
It's just a beer fridge.
But
it looks like
an
Xbox One X. So
it's the same size.
Yeah.
So
it's exactly the same size. So it's trying to make so you can have one next to each other and just get your drinks while you're gonna play.
And it's gonna be Mountain Dew Code Red.
I'm sure.
Right. I mean,
they only showed generic black and green cans because
of course
they
can't show their affiliation with any sort of soda companies. That would be disingenuous. They gotta pay for that.
But the other things, do you remember when we talked about Project Hazel?
No.
So Project Hazel is Razer's mask.
Oh yes,
it's real.
Well, I know
it's going to be sold in October.
Guys, guess what? Pandemic's over. Have your Razer. I remember that. I even said I'd buy one of those things.
Yeah.
But that was assuming we'd still be under like COVID and there'd be COVID Part 3.
Can always surprise you.
No, Brandon. No more surprises. Can we all just wash our hands just for a little while?
For a little bit.
Just for a little while. just wash your damn hands.
But I thought that was kind of interesting because there seems to be this trend in gaming that we need to make things we joke about. So like.
The meme. It's the ultimate meme.
Destiny made a joke about a toaster, and now there's a toaster you can buy on the Bungie store. Did
Destiny make a joke about a parka that you had to spend a week and a half?
That wasn't the joke. It was what you bought.
Oh.
You seem very bitter about that.
I want to answer Scorpion PC's question. Okay. My thoughts are because I have many a time done the Game Pass. Have you ever done Microsoft Game Pass?
Yeah, I did for a little bit. I really liked it.
When there's a game I want to play, but I'm not going to commit. I mean, I'll buy it for a couple months. I think that it's a good way to try out a bunch of stuff.
Is it still $5?
That's a good question.
Because
Scorpion PC, is it still the equivalent of $5 for you? I mean, because he said he's in Egypt, so I'm making an assumption.
Yeah, I'm just backing me up.
Look at this. Oh, we can see the people who are here for Brandon. All I have to do is say something negative about a Destiny parka, and all of a sudden there's like 20 people like, don't you talk about that parka. I spent a bunch of nights and weekends and days and everything.
But I remember when it came out, you could get it for 3 months for $1, and I was like, I'm super into this. Like, definitely got the trial. I know it went up to I think 5 or 6. And I'm concerned it will become 20, and then it will be an actual investment. But I think it's really worth it. The library of games, especially if you're into the Bethesda franchise.
Yeah, now that
they any of their stuff that they do under their publishing, it's definitely like the way to go. Did you find it?
It looks like it's gone up to $15.
That's for Ultimate. I know there's other stuff.
That's for Ultimate.
It's
let me see all plans. Let's see. $9 for the PC. First month is $1.
Yes, they hook you with that $1, and then
they're like drug dealers. They're like, here's your first hit, and you're like, I like playing Sea of Thieves, and then all of a sudden,
Okay, well, first of all, does anyone like playing Sea of Thieves?
Only if they like getting. Look, they're still going about this.
Yeah, chat does chat. Don't worry about it.
Michael has bruises on his forehead for the parka. There's a story there. I don't know.
I have no idea what that is, but sure.
Yeah. The parka's just in time for summer. See, Kiwi Kicks gets it.
Hey,
whatever. I'm not gonna. But so for $10, I would still probably do it. Honestly, if you are into the Bethesda franchise, which is they're coming out with another game.
Oh yeah.
Because now they got Microsoft money.
Yeah.
And
I mean, they had Bethesda money.
And you get to play Flight Simulator. That's in there.
Yeah.
So I mean.
Movies nowadays, not in a good way. Yeah, I mean, I could see that.
Yeah, no, that's Jay, you bring up a good point. However, yeah, no, you're right. You're right. That's the way it is. That's why you got. The thing is, there's a generational change. That seems more people are interested in watching other people. Are you more interested in watching people play it than actually playing the games yourself? Because with certain like Resident Evil, I'd rather watch somebody play those games.
You don't want jump scares?
I don't want it. I'd rather have the jump scare from the couch and let someone else on the actual thing get scared because I'm screaming.
Controller. Or right. What was it? Break their alt key?
Oh yeah.
When you smash
when you throw your headphones off your. I'm sorry. You take your headphones off your head and you set them down your keyboard and the keyboard stops working.
Yeah, weird.
It must have been something scary. Jump scares.
But yeah, I mean, I think that there's a change in medium and definitely how games have kind of evolved that way. Where Last of Us took off in that format, and then Red Dead tried to add on to it with a 4-hour snow walking scene. But I mean,
that is just like cowboy walking simulator, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
but that's fine.
Sim games have their place as well as games like Call of Duty. So
yeah, and I mean, I can only take so long of that. Then just play zombies because zombies is fun, guys.
Point and click.
Yeah.
But that's all I got. You got anything else?
No, man. I think this has been good. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. It's been 47 minutes. Yeah. Perfect time to stop. Make sure to, if you've seen us for the first time, subscribe. There, literally on the screen right there, it says the subscribe link. We would love to have you. We got a Discord. That's another one of those things that keeps popping up here. It'd be awesome to have you guys in Discord for sure. Yeah, it's $1 a month and it's $10. Yeah, cool. That's the same. I would say try it for a month for a buck. Play that for a month. Can't go wrong, right? Yes, Taylor. Thank you. You guys, we'll see you. I don't know if I'm going to see you next week because this guy is going to be
off. So
he's off. Maybe we move it to a Wednesday and get John in here.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But you guys have a great evening or day or morning.
Wherever you are, have a good time.
This is the internet. We'll see you guys again soon. Thanks.